didn't do a live in a long time. A long live in a long time. This about to be a long live. Purposely said I was gonna do a long live for y'all tonight. Y'all up with me? Most of y'all probably won't see this till tomorrow. It's kind of late night. But anyhow, let me get relaxed so I can talk to y'all better. How to turn $5 into 1.5 million for sure in 5 years. Now I kind of missed the mark because I started this in 2017 and it's now 2022 and I'm only at about a quarter million. But had I have did what I was supposed to do the right way, I would be at 1.5 million. Okay. But nevertheless, I'm gonna teach you guys because in 2 years or less, I'll be at 1.5 million for $5. The first thing is that you have to do what you're already doing. You're already doing it. Everybody's already doing it. Hang on, make sure my sound is good. Is that you have to do what you're already doing. You're already doing it. Okay, sounds pretty good. So you have to continue to do what you're already doing, but now you're gonna do it consciously because you've been doing it subconsciously. The word is called leverage. Shout out to Max Maxwell, my mentor. When I hung out with him for a couple days, the first thing he told me, the main thing he told me, after I told him, pretty much everything about me as far as investing side, he said, Dragon, leverage. You're in position. You just need to learn how to leverage. Everything is leveraged. You put $1 in a bank, the bank leveraged that dollar to borrow 11 more dollars. So now they have $12. I'm going to say it again. It's not even their dollar. It's your dollar. They leverage that dollar because they have it in their possession to borrow 12 more dollars. It's the same thing you're doing when you rent a car to go Uber it. You don't own the car, but the car is in your possession. So you leverage the car to go Uber and make money. Okay? Everything is a leverage. A prostitute takes his or her body and leverage it to go make $40 or $400 per person they sleep with. Okay? Everything you do, you are leveraging. Everything you do. Okay? When you put on some nice clothes, you say, let me put on these nice clothes so I can attract someone to me, so I can attract making a living. So you're leveraging looking nice to get what you want. You leverage something you have to get what you want. You leverage something you have in your possession to get what you want. Okay. The main thing, the foundation is most people are leveraging their time. Leveraging your time will only get you paid minimum wages. I'm going to say it again. Leveraging your time, which is what most people leverage because you have all this time in the world. You're sitting around the house. You're like, man, I can just work a job. I ain't doing nothing. So you're not even aware. You're leveraging your time when you go on these jobs. Then you complain, I don't have time to do nothing. I'm so tired. This, that, and the third. Stop leveraging your time. Well, Dragon, that's all I have. No, everybody has a skill. Everybody has a skill. I don't care if you're blind, deaf, and dumb. You have a skill. There's a girl who's actually blind, deaf, and blind, deaf, and can't speak, and she graduated college. Blind, deaf, and cannot speak, and graduated college. A black girl like that. Okay. There's a guy in a tomb his whole life. Um, but something incredible he did, I forgot it was. Then you know about this other guy. He's like a billionaire, but he's has cerebral palsy or something like that. I forget what it was. Then there's the other guy has no arms, no legs, but he's married to the most beautiful woman in the world, and he's a billionaire. If you have a mind, you can leverage your mind. What do you think Bill Gates does? Warren Buffett, um, all these great minds, despite their evilness, what do you think? Let me name some black people. What do you think? I just finished watching James Brown. James Brown has seventh grade education, but James Brown in the movie, he had a feeling. That's all he had was a feeling. This man never even said he had a mind, a brain. James Brown had a soul. The Godfather, a soul. There's a part in the movie, if you ever saw the movie, I should rewind it, where he says to his band, he says, "What's wrong with y'all? Y'all ain't got no feeling?" Because they're trying to tell him, "Hey, we rehearsed the song like this, and it should go like this," and he's like, "No, just because we did it like that, don't mean it's gonna go like that. You gotta have feeling. You gotta have soul." And there's another part in the movie. Whoever's watching, can you hear me and see me clearly? There's another part in the movie where, in the beginning, the dude is like, "What the hell he's saying? He ain't saying nothing. He's just saying, please. Please what?" And the dude had to tell him, it's not about the words, it's about the feeling. That's all James Brown had was a soul and feeling. And this man is the Godfather. Be honest with you, if there was no Michael Jackson, it would be only James Brown. Probably the second largest entertainer in the world known besides Michael Jackson and probably Elvis Presley is James Brown. And be honest with you, before Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley, it was James Brown. He's the original world godfather of music, soul, all that. All because James Brown, he trusted intuition. He trusted his intuition. He trusted his soul. He trusted his feeling. Everything James Brown did based on his feeling. All the ruthless shit he did, all the baby mamas he got, all the women he slept with, all the money he made, everything he did it just because he had a feeling. Oh, three people watching. One of them might be me. So two people watching. Y'all tell me, can y'all hear me? I should have sent the thing out so y'all could see. Y'all, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything clear? Okay, because I'm letting the cat out the bag. I'm letting the cat out the bag. Some stuff that was told to me in a mastermind with Max Maxwell a couple years ago. All right, Don. Okay, family. Okay. So you have to know what you can leverage. You don't have to just leverage your time and your body. James Brown leveraged his feeling. I got that feeling. Man, I wish I could play the dang guitar. I've been practicing. I'm trying to get that feeling. I got that feeling. I'm trying to get that feeling like James Brown. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. If you got that feeling, man, you can leverage your feelings. People be like, man, you always in your goddamn feelings. You can leverage that bitch. That's what musicians do. Musicians go through heartbreak. They leverage it. They sing about their heartbreak. That's what they do. Musicians leverage their feelings. Most of them go through shit just to have that feeling and then sing about it at that moment to bring out that emotion. Leverage your emotion. Women do it all every day. Women and feminine acted men do it all day, every day. Leverage their emotions. And people fall for it. Leverage. So what I want you to find out, okay, is about yourself is what can you leverage? Are you a carpenter, a painter? Are you in tune with your emotions and feelings to be a singer or whatever your talent is? Okay, Charles, what's the blind singer's name? Black guy, Ray Charles. Feeling, man, with a back. Feelings. Women leverage their sexy bodies, their big butts. Okay? Men, with big yin yangs be trying to leverage that. All right? Muscular bodies and all this type of stuff. Whatever it is that's your skill, truck drivers leverage that they can drive long periods of times and stay up. Whatever it is you're leveraging, now you're gonna monetize it at its maximum. The reason why I put $5 is because $5 is what it costed me to go on Craigslist and place an ad that I want to leverage my skill, which at the time was moving people and assembling furniture. That's how I started my business. Moving people and assembling furniture. I did not start my business where I'm at now. Matter of fact, when I started my business, I started charging people $25 an hour in 2017, I believe it was. And before that, my first client, I gave them a break. I charged my first clients, I charged them $75 for 4 hours, and some I just bump it just to keep working. I charge them $10 an hour just to keep working. Okay. Now I make an excess of $150 an hour in the same business, but now I'm more of a now I just do commercial repairs and assemblies for your big box stores like Home Depot, CVS. Tomorrow I gotta assemble a fence, fix a fence actually for CVS. You know, all that type of stuff. But it took me, you know, about say 5 years to get to this point, 4 or 5 years to get to this point. Um, which I could have actually got to this point earlier. Like I said in the beginning of my video, I missed a couple steps and I should be at 1.5 million by now, but I'm only at a quarter million. But anyhow, and I could be even further along. I could be at 10 million, be honest with you. But anyhow, for the sake of argument, let's just stick with what we got here, right? So when I started this journey, those of you know me from my previous channel, I was living in my truck, a beat up old Mazda pickup truck, 1991. I was living in a front seat of my pickup truck, the driver's seat. I didn't even have a back seat I could stretch out in like the truck I have now. I only had my front seat. I lived in that truck on and off for like 4 years. Didn't have a clue about a clue. Didn't have a clue about a clue. I was a longshoreman. I worked at the strip club, stripping. No, I wasn't stripping, but I was valet parking, had valet parking. I was making money. I'm not gonna lie, I was making a lot of money. But I said, let me stay living in my car and save my money. Long story short, I did that. I blew a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie, I blew a lot of money, but I saved a lot of it. But I was able to clear up a lot of bills and do a lot of things, fix my life in those 4 years. Bought a new pickup truck, not a brand new pickup truck, but another pickup truck with air conditioning, the whole works and everything like that. I still have that pickup truck. And anyhow, I started this journey. During that 4 years, I just kept thinking what I want to do, what I want to do when the stage of my life is over. And all I could picture is my dream of having a ranch slash farm on a lot of acres and living my best life. And I'm doing that right now, actually. um, I have 24 properties, and I'm doing that right now. You know what I mean? Um, so anyhow, long story short, let's get to the point. You're gonna take the $5, and you could go on Fiverr, you could go on Craigslist, you could do it for free actually. Forget five. You could go do it for free on Facebook Marketplace. I made a lot of money with the free advertising on Facebook Marketplace. Okay? You can go on Facebook Marketplace and you can oh, I should have shared this on Facebook. And you can place your ad leveraging your skill. Babysitting, songwriter, video editing, which is a big thing. I started with something simple, moving people and assembling furniture. If you're a capable man and you don't know how to move some furniture and assemble some furniture with a screwdriver and a hammer, you are not a capable man at all. You just need to go walk in front of traffic, right? So anyhow, I started doing that, and then from that, um, I got into carpentry, which I already knew carpentry, but I got back in it. I got into plumbing. I got into electrical. I just kept learning skills, right? And I learned very fast. So every new skill that I learned, I was able to give myself a pay raise. Okay? The reason why it's important to learn a skill is because now you don't leverage your time. Now you're not going to leverage your time. Now you're going to leverage your skill. Okay? Now you're going to leverage your skill. So now when you leverage your skill, it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Okay? It could take you 5 minutes. Okay? It literally takes me, if I have the TV mount and the tools, it literally takes me 5 minutes to put up a TV mount, and I can make $75 to $300 in 5 minutes of work. The actual time that eats up my time is driving to the client's house, driving to the customer's house. Driving to the customer's house is what really eats up my time. When I get there, they have the mount. I said, make sure you have the mount and everything ready. Don't talk to me. Let me do my thing. Take me 5 to 20 minutes to put that TV up. And they owe me anywhere from $75 to $300, depending if I'm just screwing a small 19-inch TV in a wall or a 50, 60, 75-inch TV in a wall in concrete or whatever above the fireplace mat. So it all depends what I'm doing. Okay. I've gotten as much as $450 for hanging an 85-inch TV, and we had to put two mounts in because I wanted to make sure that thing was secured. So, long story short, now I don't have to leverage my time. I leverage my skill. So it doesn't matter if it take me 5 minutes or 5 hours to do a thing. As long as I get the job done, I'm going to get the same pay. All right. The reason why this is all important is because you're learning the skill consciously of leveraging. And you need to make money. You need to make real money to do what I tell you to do to get from $5 to 1.5 million in 5 years. Now, once you're making money, which be honest with you, the money I made from hanging TVs in 2020 and 2021 is how I obtained 24 properties, or at least 18, 19 of them. The money I was using to hanging TVs, I I bought a property every month. Now you say, Dragon, how you buy a property every month? Okay, if you from my other channel that YouTube took down for talking about the J people, the people that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving have an issue with. I was talking about them way back before Kanye West and all this stuff had started happening. I was talking about them and they took my whole channel down. Anyhow, before they took my channel down, I was telling y'all how to obtain land with $1 to $300, $400, $500 down, and anywhere from $50 to $500 a month. Okay, for your property. All right. Now, if you look at my other previous videos, you see I just came from Colorado, checking on the land we brought out there in Colorado. We got 5 acres out there in Navajo ranches. Um, if you from my other channel or even on this channel, you check out my previous videos. You see my properties, at least few of them. Some of most of my properties I've never even been to. I have never even been to. I don't even know what's out there. I could own swampland. I don't know what the hell's out there. I've never even been there. But anyhow, all my properties though have grown in equity. Equity. Okay. With me paying off my properties, the money that I'm putting into my properties over 3 to 5 years, actually 3 to 10, but I haven't paid off in 5. Over 3 to 5 years, and most of them be paid off in 3. The money I'm putting in is 125,000 cash money of my money. The reason why I'm worth $250,000 is because the other 125,000 comes from equity. Equity, as you know, real estate went through the roof in 2021. All my property values doubled. Okay, all my property values doubled. Some tripled. Okay, some quadrupled, but just on average, we're gonna say doubled. Okay, all my property values doubled. Okay, what happened is, and I'm not going to talk about how I obtain these properties. Get with me. My phone number is 754-229-0940, 754-229-0940, and I'll show you how I obtain these properties. Rent to own, and from $1 to $500 down. Right now, there is a massive sale on properties right now. $1 in many states, $1 down, $100 a month. Massive sale. Okay, right now. You're not gonna get the same deal I got last year and the year before, where I was buying 1 acre, 1.25 acres for 10, 9, 10, 20, for basically 9, 10, 15,000. Now that same property is like 30, 31,000. Okay. So now instead of selling 1 or 1.25 acres, now a lot of these guys are selling quarter acres for the same price you could have bought a whole acre for last year and year before. Not even last year, but year before. Okay. So anyhow, um, that's a whole nother video. I'm not gonna get into that, how I obtain these properties. The main thing is, um, I can show you how to obtain properties. Okay. Now the reason why I specialize in land is because the money is in the land. Okay. Those of you already in real estate, you already know the money's in the land. But let me just explain it in simple terms, why the money's in the land. You can build a house anywhere, the same exact house. I could build a brick house, single family brick house for $100,000 today. A few years ago, it would have been about 60, 70,000. Today, about 100, 125,000 to build a brick house. I could build it anywhere. If I build that house in South Beach, Miami, or New York City, or LA, what do you think that house would be worth? That house would be worth, that city, that property. That property be worth anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million, correct? 300,000, $500,000, $1 million, correct? Which is the average price of a house these days, 300,000, right? Now, if I build that same $100,000 house in the middle of the desert in New Mexico or Arizona somewhere, what would that house be worth? About 101,000. Why? Because I could buy an acre of land for about 1,000 or 10. Well, not 1,000 no more, probably about 10,000. So it'd go for about 110,000. Because the house would be worth more than the land at that point. Why? Because I could buy an acre of land in New Mexico, Arizona, some parts of Texas, even Colorado, for 10,000, 5,000. To be honest, which is worth 100,000 plus 500, right? But the same house, Miami, LA, um, Chicago, New York City, Brooklyn, wherever you want to say, is anywhere from 300,000 to $1 million. Why? Because it's not the house that goes up in value, it's the land. Of people moving and wanting to live in that area. People be like, my house is worth this. Your house ain't worth shit. Your house is worth whatever it would cost the insurance company to rebuild it if that bitch burnt down. Your property is what's worth 300,000, 400,000, $500,000. Your land. Okay? So this is why I specialize in land. Because I could build a house anytime, anywhere, it doesn't matter. I can leverage, once all my properties are paid for, I can leverage that property. Okay, say one of my properties, right? Like what I'm gonna do at one of them in Florida. I'm paying 13,000 for it, right? 13,999, right? It's I'm not even I'm like 2/3 finished paying for it right now, 2/3, and the property's worth 31,000 because all my neighbors are selling theirs for 31,000, right? Just 2 years ago, I brought it for 13,999, 14,000, right? That's with the interest and everything, okay? Um, so I'm getting it for 14,000 clean, and I could sell it for 31,000 clean right now. So I could basically sell the property, pull out my equity, pay off my balance, and still end up with like 15,000 clean, right? Especially if I take the money and throw it right back into real estate, I won't have to pay any taxes, right? It's called a deferment. That's a whole another video. But anyhow, let's say hypothetically my property's paid off. I can take that 30,000, which I'm not gonna take it, but I can go to any bank. It doesn't matter my credit. By the way, I did all this with bad credit. Everything I'm telling you, I did with bad credit. Okay. Anyhow, I can take this $30,000. This I could take this property worth $30,000. I can do it now, as a matter of fact, with the 15,000 equity in it plus what I paid into it, which would be around like 25,000 probably. Anyhow, I can take this property, go to any private bank, public bank, private investor, anybody with a tiny bit of common sense as far as what a good investment is, and say, hey, I want to leverage this property. I want to borrow $100,000 to build a house on this property. And if I don't pay you that money back, you can have the house and the land. You can have the house and the land. So basically, they're getting their $100,000 back plus a $30,000 land. So regardless of if I pay them back or not, they're gonna be up an extra $30,000. So they're taking their 100,000, regardless if I pay them or not. Their 100,000 could turn into $130,000 as soon as the house is finished being built. Mind you, I borrow $100,000. I probably end up paying them 110,000 back. 10% interest, whatever. Some of them be higher than that, but me personally, I'm not paying you more than 10% interest for hard money or something like that. So I would end up paying them back 110,000. The reason I can get the 110,000 back is because now that the property has a house on it and land, it's probably, by the time I finish putting a house on it, it's probably going to be worth around 200,000. Not probably, but it would be worth around 200,000 on a low side. Okay, a brick house, 200,000 on a low side. There's not a bank in the world that would not give me the $110,000 to pay this investor back and give me, if I want, the other 60, 70, 80, 90,000, whatever, to put in my pocket. There's not a bank in the world that won't do it. On top of it, if I just want to sell the house and land the whole property completely, I could sell it for 200,000. Easy. Where are you gonna find a house in 2022, a brick house, single family home for 200,000 in a nice area? Where? For 200,000, brand new construction house, brand new. Okay, not a fixer up, a brand new. Where? Okay, because I need to buy it up. Okay, now once my lands are paid off, 125,000 paid off, all my lands, right? And I have that extra 105,000 equity, I will be at $250,000 clean. Okay, I can even start doing it now, but I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna kind of wait a little bit longer to get most of it paid down, because I wanna. What you do is, and you have to say I have the $250,000 paid off, right? I have the $250,000 clean, I should say, right? You take 100,000, mind you. For you to get from $5 to this $250,000, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years. Okay, and the way you got there is because you're leveraging your skill now instead of your time. Because if you keep leveraging your time, you're not going to make enough money to do what I'm telling you to do. You're not going to make 125,000 extra dollars on top of your bills in 3 to 5 years. Okay, Me telling you to make an extra $125,000 in 3 to 5 years means I'm telling you to make an extra 25,000. I'm telling you to make an extra 25,000, and some of you might not be following me, but try to. Those watching, are you following me? Do you follow what I'm saying, or do you need me to slow it down a little bit? So I'm basically telling you to make an extra, if you did it in 3 years, I'm basically telling you to make an extra 25,000 to $41,660 per year for the next 3 to 5 years. That's what I'm telling you you have to make. To do what I'm doing, you have to make extra money. Unless you already have that money that you make currently. Those that already making that type of money that you could throw at land and property, you're good. But those that are not making that type of money, you have to rewind this video and go back to the beginning, and I'll show you how to make that type of money. You need to leverage your skill now on and not your time. Okay? The couple that started BET, they didn't know nothing but how to play I think a violin or something, and the wife was giving violin lessons for like $25, and they saved their money up to like 10,000 and started BET, and ended up selling it for like 2 billion, something like that. Long story short, but that's what they leveraged. They knew how to play the violin. Okay? I don't care if you just know how to clean houses, you know how to cut grass. That second income you have that you've been spending on a car because you want to finance a car, you're going to use that second income to finance your land. Land. Okay? Well, what I'm telling you to do, you're not going to buy houses. You're going to buy land. You can always put a house because you're going to later on leverage the land to get the money to put the house. Let me know if you follow me. I'll slow it down. You're a great storyteller and passionate about teaching people. Yes, I am. Thank you, Don. Don, where you at? What city, what state you at? Are you from my old channel? I think I had a Dawn on my old channel. This is not my old channel. This is actually a channel I had a long time ago, but I just started putting more videos on here. I should say this is my new main channel. Are you from my old main channel? Anyhow, you have to make an extra $25,000 to $41,660 to do what I'm telling you to do. I made extra money by putting up TVs, mounting TVs. And I was, making money on cryptocurrency and other stuff. But I'm not going to get into that. The main thing I was doing was putting up TVs. I'll run out the house real quick. Honey, I'll be back. Go put up a TV. Come be back in an hour, 2 hours. Tops. With $75 to $300, that's extra money. I would take that and put down on the property. Okay? And I would keep doing it. And I'm telling you, if you're from my old channel, you know some months I had it rough. Some months it was rough because my truck been in the shop for a whole year. My truck been in the shop. Some months it's rough paying because I have 24 properties. My notes altogether is like $2,000 a month. Some properties I got so cheap, I'm paying $50 a month. I can't do it on this phone. Can't show you on this phone because, I could probably show you on this phone right here. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I could show you on this phone some of my payments that I'm making, because I make my payments via Cash App. Let me see if I got a thing on this phone. But Let me see if I got a thing on this phone. Probably don't. But I've been making $50 payments. I got half of my properties, I'm making $50 payments for land per month. Now you could still find some deals like that. Really, it's going to be about $150 right now. Those $50 deals all dried up. It's really going to be about 150 right now is what the market is. Let me see if I could show you one of my deals. Oh God. Okay, like this is one property here, and I'll give you a freebie. I'll give you a freebie. See, this is the text message and stuff. $77 a month. Well, this was with a late fee, because I'll be honest with you, I had to pay a late fee. I was late one time, but $77. But this property is $50 a month. Okay, and I'll show it to you right there. My buddy Mike over there at Land for Less. Land for Less. I'll give you a freebie. Land for Less. Mike. Tell him Dragon sent you. Or even better, hook up with me, and I'll introduce you to Mike, and you get a better deal. Okay? But you can go to landforless.com, okay, and check some stuff out and hook up with me, and I'll hook you up with Mike, and you get a little better deal, right? But I got more than half my properties. I'm paying $50 a month. Those same properties today, you'd be paying about $150 per month. Okay? Just in a couple of years. Okay? So these half of my properties have actually tripled in value. Tripled, not double, tripled in value. Okay? Because it's the same terms, 3 years, but because the properties went up in value, you're paying triple now. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, whether or not the market goes up or down, you can still do this strategy. Why? Let's just say you got into the business now and the land value stayed the same. In 3 years, 3 to 5 years, you brought a couple properties, and you don't even need 24 properties like me, because be honest with you, out of the 24 properties I have, I'm only gonna take about 4 or 5 of them and turn that into the 1.5 million by putting houses on them and selling them with the houses, or financing the house, leveraging the houses again, and pulling that money out. So whether I'm selling the properties or pulling the money out, I'm gonna have access to 1.5 million either way. Okay. But let's just say my equity didn't double or triple. Let's just say you get in the business today, and in 3 years you paid off your property. 3 to 5 years you paid off let's say 3 properties, right? Let's say 3 properties. And you like, Dragon, I did like you said, I bought these lands, I paid them off in 3 to 5 years. What's next? Because my property value did not increase. I have no equity. Matter of fact, with these 3 properties, I got, let's say, 50,000. I got 50,000 in them, and they're telling me they're altogether they're only worth 40,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, because you're gonna do what's called property improvement. You're going to improve the house, the land, the property, the whole neighborhood. Think about it, people. You got $40,000, even though you invested 50. You got $40,000 sitting that you would have just threw away buying a car or going out to eat some dumb shit. But now in 3 to 5 years, even 1 year, 2 years, you got $40,000 just sitting there. Cash money. You can pull the money out, or you can do what I'm telling you to do and leverage it. You're going to go to any bank. You could have bad credit. Your credit could be 200. Oh, child support, everything. Because, by the way, you're not buying these properties in your name. You're like, Dragon, well, I have bad credit, my baby mama, my child support. You're not buying these properties in your name. You're buying these properties in a trust. I should have said that from the beginning. I don't care if you got judgments against you, you're in prison, you owe people, you got bad credit, you're buying properties in a trust. Okay? So nobody knows who you are. You're buying properties in a trust, which is better than LLCs. If you want to buy an LLC, you could do that too, but they could easily look up the LLC and see who owns the LLC. You're going to buy your properties in a trust. I have the trust documents. I sell the trust documents with my course for $250. Okay? I hold your hand for 30 days. I give you all my secrets, my mastermind secrets of what I'm telling you. Okay? This is not no get rich quick. Okay? I will even help you choose your skill that you're good at. I don't care if it's doing hair, doing nails, whatever. I don't even care if you just say, fuck it. I ain't got no skill. I'm going to just trade my time. Because that's all I got is time. I already work 40 hours a week. I ain't got shit to do. Let me just get a part-time job and make an extra $10,000 a year for the next 3 to 5 years. That's still $10,000 a year. You might say, fuck it. I ain't got no skill. I ain't got no time. But you know what? I'm paying $500 or $1,000 in rent. I'm going to go sleep in my car like you did, Dragon, and save them $500, and instead of paying rent to a landlord for $500 and $1,000 a month, I'm gonna pay off all my land in 3 to 5 years, and I'm gonna sleep in my car or in a tent on my land, pay this motherfucker off in 3 to 5 years, and that way I'm gonna have $20, $30, $40, $50,000. And when you have that $10, $20, $30, $50,000, you can go to any bank, any person. You could go anywhere in the world with bad credit, all that stuff. And when they see your property in a trust, they know you're business savvy. And you are going to say, I want to leverage my property, but I need to get $100,000 from you. Whatever it's going to cost to build a house, it could be a wood house. But it has to be a house. It cannot be on a trailer. You can't put a trailer on there. Well, you probably could, be honest with you, because trailer houses are expensive right now. $100,000 for a damn trailer house. But usually the banks, they want you to put a house on there that can't be moved. They want you to put a foundation on and screw the wood to the foundation, all that. They don't want no modular house or anything like that. They want you to put a house that could sit there. You can't just take their money and then pull a house away. Now you got the money and a house. Now I ain't playing the games with you, right? So let's say you got bad credit. They're like, well, we'll give it to you, but you got bad credit. All you got to leverage or for collateral is the property. We're gonna give you the 100,000 or 50,000, whatever you ask for you to put a house on there. As long as you understand, if you don't pay, we're gonna take the house and land. So you're gonna lose your 10, 20, 30,000, 50,000 that you have in your land. You're gonna lose that. So make sure you pay this money back, right? But you ain't worried about it because you already know you're making a grand improvement to the house, the property, the neighborhood. Neighbors love you because you put a brand new house and everything like that. You got a great construction company that you use. You can use Toll Brothers. There's many. I could give you that information of who you can use to build your house for you. But anyhow, you're gonna build a house, or you could build multiple houses like me, build a bunch of tiny houses, which is a whole nother strategy. I could show you how to put tiny houses on your property to where you won't even have to. They fucking my life stream. You will be paying off your tiny house at the same time you're paying off your land, like I'm doing. And you can look on my previous videos and see how I got my tiny cabins that I'm paying off at the same time I'm paying off land. And if I want, I could put foundations down and start sewing my houses down to the foundation. And now I have a structure house. My house is down to the foundation. And now I have a structure house that the banks will finance me. I made a property improvement. Okay. Mind you, the whole time you're doing this, you can live on these properties. You can live on these properties and make property improvements to these properties. Okay, the whole time. Okay, so now you got your land, you got your house. You can put a house on it. Well, you got your land, your house. You can sell the house. I could say you could sell the house 100. Well, the property in the house 150,000, 200,000, $250,000. You might hit the jackpot, and somebody offer you a $500,000. Okay, but on the low end, you're gonna at least get if you got $100,000 loan, your property's paid for, let's say 30,000, because that's on low side. If you can't pay off $30,000 in 3 to 5 years, you don't even need to be owning a car, because that's a car note. Okay, so anyhow, you pay that off. You're gonna at least get 200,000 for that house. Again, show me a brand new house, brick house, for 200,000. Show it to me. Brand new. Again, brand new. Okay? Up to date, brand new. Okay? Anyhow, you sell it or you leverage it again, pull the money out, and go do it again. Now you have the money to go build, to go buy some land cash or buy a rehab property. Now you have the money to finance your own deals. Now you have the money to finance your own deals, right? So say you borrowed the 200,000. It's called a burn method, right? You borrowed the 200,000, you put a tenant in the house that's paying off the mortgage or the note. I like to use the word note. The tenant's paying it off, okay? You have an extra 50,000 that you're gonna use now and use that money to flip properties. Within 1 year to 2 years, you could turn those $50,000 into $150,000. The following year, you take that $150,000, turn it into $300,000. Mind you, you're not living off of this money. This is money you're just flipping in real estate. You still making your original money however you was making it. A lot of real estate investors are not going to tell you. They still work their jobs up to like 10 years. They still be on their jobs, their regular jobs or work. I like to say they're living. They're still making their living on their regular careers. They're not going to tell you that. They make it seem like, oh, I just got into real estate and in 1 month I made $100,000 and try to sell you their course. No, I'm telling you the real truth, the real deal. You're still gonna, if you're a normal person and you just have half a brain, okay, and you're a regular person like myself, ain't nothing special about you, but you want to be a millionaire, this is the process. This is the process. I'm going through it. Ain't nothing special about it. Only thing you need to know, learn, is the word leverage. because you're already doing it. People that cut hair, barbers, they know how to cut hair. They leverage that skill of cutting hair to make a living, to make money. You already leveraging. You're already leveraging. Okay? Don said, "Yup, been watching all your video channels for a minute now." Yeah, I thought you was from my other channel. Anyhow, family, I'll probably do a part 2. That's all I got for you right now. Thank you for watching, Don, and everybody else that's gonna watch this video. Leave your comments, your questions. My number 754-229-0940. Again, pay $5, place an ad on Craigslist. Place an ad on Craigslist or an ad on Fiverr. I never use Fiverr. People recommend Fiverr. I use Craigslist, and Craigslist made me a lot of money for them $5. That ad goes 30 days. For $5, I'm telling you, for $5, for every $5 I put on Craigslist, I must have made $1,000. To be honest with you, I must have made $1,000 for every $5. I'll be honest with you. It must have made me $1,000 for that much. Because I would put ads in different cities. Like I'm in North Carolina, so I put an ad for $5 in Raleigh. It's just an hour away. Ad for $5 in Fayetteville. An ad for $5 in Wilmington. An ad for $5 in Durham. Okay? Again, the real work was actually driving to the customer, driving to the client. When I actually got there, and I'm not bullshitting around, it take me 5 to 20 minutes. And if I'm bullshitting around with a customer talking and doing all this shit, it's gonna take me an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bullshitting around, you know. But those who know me personally know I'm not lying. It's all the truth, all the facts. You've been watching my journey now with this specific thing for the past 3 years. You see me doing it. You see me living in my truck. Living in my truck. Okay, not paying no rent unless I go to a hotel sometimes. You know, I would go to a hotel. Now I'm more or less settled. I'm more or less settled. I'm not exactly sleeping in my truck anymore. Because I'm more or less settled. I'm like I say, I'm making really good money now with my regular living. Making really good money now with that, and I'm able to pay off my properties, make a living, take care of my family. I'm just waiting to pay off these $125,000. As soon as I pay off these $125,000 or come close to it, the equity's already there. You know what I'm saying? If I really add up my equity and what I've put in, you know, my net worth is, you know, around 200,000. You know what I'm saying? Around 180, somewhere in there, 200,000. And like I said, you don't need 24 properties. Like most of my properties, they're just gonna sit there for the next 10, 20 years. They're just gonna sit there. I'm not gonna do shit with them probably for the next 10, 20 years. They're just there, you know, building more equity. I'm probably only gonna develop 3, 4, 5 properties and turn those 3, 4, 5 properties into 1.5 million. That's all you need really is around 3, 4 properties. Flip about 3, 4 properties and you got about 1.5 million. And I'll show you how to keep flipping them to where you're not paying any taxes, where you'll never pay taxes, to be honest with you. But you will be paying interest, which interest is not taxable. Okay, that's why Donald Trump only paid $700 in taxes. Interest is not taxable. So it's better you pay interest than to pay taxes, because taxes, you're going to pay half your money. Your 1.5 million will only be 750,000. So better you take your 1.5 million and pay interest on it of 10%, and you'll only be paying 100,000. So you'll still only be at one. So say you have 100, say you have 1.5 million, but you had to pay in interest 10%, right? That's 150,000. So okay, yeah, I got 1.5 million and I paid 150,000 taxes, but that still leaves me with 1.35 million clean. And my tenants are paying off my notes, my mortgages. My tenants are paying them off, whether you're doing Airbnb like me or regular, smellular, renting them out, or Section 8, which was a great strategy for those that did Section 8 during the pandemic because the government kept cutting a check, but all the other landlords was getting screwed over. Some people ain't paid rent for 3, 4, 5 years. The girl I was dating, she had to go in there. She's a property manager. She had to go in there and basically um, get people to pay that wasn't paying for like 2, 3 years, owing 18,000 and 20 something thousand. Her own son didn't pay rent for a long time and owed like 3,400. So, a lot of that stuff is just not being cleaned up. But those that did Section 8 with their properties, they made money the whole time. Excuse me. I love doing this joke. When I was a youngster, I used to go to church, and this pastor, we had one of the flashy pastors. I got booger on my nose. We had one of the flashy pastors, and when the pastors get to going, boy, they be like, excuse me, the Lord Jesus. They say something real nice and slick, and the church members go crazy. They be like, excuse me. And they be like, go ahead, pastor, go ahead. Ain't no excuse me, go ahead. All right, y'all. Just messing around. I'm not poking fun of nobody's religion. I'm just messing around. Anyhow, I'll talk to y'all later. I did an hour for y'all tonight. I'm gonna try to do an hour soon. I'm not gonna promise tomorrow, but soon, because I got some money to make tomorrow, spend some time with my family tomorrow, and if I have time, I'll give you guys some time. Please leave your comments, and again, $250, I will teach you everything I know, so you can take $5 and turn it into 1.5 million in 3 to 5 years. Those of you that been watching my channel, you see me doing it. Look at my previous videos on this channel, you see me doing it. Okay? And like I say, you don't even have to get a second job. Just live in your vehicle like I did and save your money. Don't pay no rent. You can use that money to buy your land. I got clients right now that stop paying rent. They're like, fuck, I just stopped paying rent. I need a second job. I just stopped paying rent, move out to one of the properties, live in my car, and I'm good. All right? Listen, guys, I'm almost 50, and I'm doing this. You guys in your 20s, 30s, you're way ahead of the game if you do this. Way ahead of the game. So even if you don't do it for you, buy the course for your son, your daughter, your nephew, your niece, somebody you care about. And if you don't have 250, I do 125 for 7 days. 125 for 7 days. I'll teach you everything I know within 7 days. And that also includes the trust documents. Okay? You Cash App me. I'll leave it on my Cash App in the description. But it's Cash App, $Fire Resorts. Wait till I type it in, so you're not sending. Actually, no. Call me and I'll send you my Cash App. So don't send money just sending it. Call me first. Don't be stupid. Talk to me first, okay? And I give you my proper Cash App. All you need to know is 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. 40. Peace.